Okay, so let's just look at a quick discussion around returns within SAP. Returns actually can happen both from customers and from you to your suppliers. So we're going to look quickly at the returns from customers. So here are some items that we have from a customer. And if the delivery note is still open, as in if we haven't generated the sales invoice yet, it's possible to copy to a return from within the delivery itself. So we can just click on return, and then we can isolate the particular items that we want to have returned or received back into stock from our customer. Another option is if the delivery note were closed, or let's just leave, if the delivery note were open, we can go into sales and returns. So we're starting from this point, and if we pick the same customer then, so we'll just go M9050, and then we can do a copy from delivery notes, and we have two delivery notes from Microsoft, so we'll just pick the one that we're looking at there, which is number 7, and we can then customize this and pull out just the items that are being returned and add that to the system. So that essentially then adds that back into our warehouse. We now have those 2 units being returned to us. At the moment we haven't set up any alternative warehouses, so this is going to be received back into the general warehouse if you want. Might be an idea to think about looking at setting up a damaged stock warehouse or a goods returned warehouse. Presumably we'll have to look at doing some sort of inspection to see whether or not the product is fit for resale. Equally, of course, when we get this back into stock, we may want to return it to our supplier. So from that perspective, we can go to the purchasing module, and if we look at the goods receipt, so if we just pick up a goods receipt here, it's possible to copy a goods receipt into a goods return. So this is then returning the product to our supplier. Of course, if the goods receipt has been closed or whatever, we can go to a goods return, and we can call up the supplier, so in this case Square One, and we can look to copy from existing goods receipt POs. So we have lots of open goods receipts from Square One. Just pick one at random. We get to see the items on that, so there's just the one item on this particular goods receipt, and that allows us to return it, and then we have sort of traceability on where this has originated from. So okay, goods return. If we want to, we can start from the perspective of generating a new document entirely. So if, let's say, for example, in this case, we've already invoiced or been invoiced from Square One, we can simply generate a goods return and say for a particular product, we have the item, presumably we have the item in stock, and then we can actually say how many units we are returning to them. And that will create a goods return. So there's no relationship. It doesn't relate to any other document on the system, but it means that we do have an outstanding transaction now with Square One. We've reduced our stock back down by the quantity returned to Square One, and we have an open document on the system. So at any point in the future, we can come back in and look at our open items list and look at purchase goods returns, and we'll see those documents. So we expect from this point that we will either have a replacement item coming from Square One, or the item will be repaired, or we'll get a credit note